Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you today to silence the noise of doubt and embrace a profound truth: your miracle is coming. It is not a question of if, but a question of when. You see, life is not governed by what your eyes behold or what your hands can touch. It is governed by the unseen forces of faith and imagination. When you align your inner vision with unwavering belief, the universe moves to deliver what you seek. Picture this: a farmer sows seeds in fertile soil. Does he dig them up each morning to see if they are growing? No, he trusts the process, knowing that the harvest is inevitable. So too must you plant the seed of your desire in the fertile soil of your mind and trust that it will bloom. But there is a secret, a key that few dare to use. Live as if your miracle has already happened. If you seek abundance, walk with the confidence of one who lacks nothing. If you desire love, carry the joy of someone who is already cherished. If you long for healing, feel the vitality coursing through your body even now. Your senses may mock you, the world may appear unchanged. But remember this: what you persist in imagining with feeling will soon become undeniable fact. Your emotions are the power that fuels your miracle. When you feel gratitude as though your desire is fulfilled, you summon it closer, like a moth drawn to a flame. And yet there is one more vital truth. The miracle you await has its appointed hour. The higher power in infinite wisdom orchestrates its perfect arrival. Do not rush, do not fret. Trust that it is on its way, and it will meet you at the exact moment when all things are aligned for your greatest good. So I implore you, my friends, hold fast to your vision. See it clearly, feel it deeply, trust it completely, for the path to your miracle has already been laid, and it is walking toward you even now. To believe this, your miracle is coming. It is as certain as the sunrise, as unrise, as unstoppable as the tide. Claim it in your heart and watch as it unfolds before your eyes. The unseen world is shaped by your unwavering belief. What you hold as true within the depths of your mind is the foundation upon which your external reality is built. Faith is not a passive state, it is an active, living force that molds the unseen into the seen. It transcends the limits of your senses and operates in the realm where all possibilities exist. To trust that your desired outcome already exists, even when there is no physical evidence, is to align yourself with the creative power of the universe. Faith begins in the imagination, where you see not the world as it is, but as it could be. When you close your eyes and picture the life you desire, you are stepping into a realm of infinite potential. This act of envisioning is not mere fantasy, it is the first step in bringing the invisible into form. But faith demands more than a fleeting thought. It requires that you hold on to this vision with conviction, regardless of what your external circumstances may suggest. It asks you to stand firm in the belief that the outcome you seek is not just possible, but inevitable. Doubt is the great disruptor of creation. It whispers that your vision is too grand, your desires too unrealistic, and your dreams too distant. Yet the power of faith lies in its ability to silence these doubts. Faith does not waver in the face of obstacles, it sees beyond them. When your senses tell you that nothing has changed, faith reminds you that the unseen is always at work. It asks you to trust in a process that operates on a level beyond your immediate understanding. To align your faith with your desired outcome, you must learn to see with the eyes of your heart, not the eyes of your body. Your physical senses are bound by the limitations of time and space. They can only report what is already present. Faith, however, taps into the eternal now, where all things exist simultaneously. When you hold unwavering belief in your desired outcome, you are not waiting for it to happen, you are calling it into existence. This process requires persistence. Faith is not a fleeting emotion, but a state of being that must be cultivated daily. You may find yourself tempted to give up when results do not appear immediately. Yet this is the crucial moment where faith must prevail. Imagine a sculptor chiseling away at a block of stone. With each strike, the form within becomes clearer, even if progress seems slow. So it is with faith. Each moment you maintain your belief, you are shaping your reality, even if the changes are not yet visible. Faith also demands a partnership with feeling. To simply declare belief without embodying it emotionally is to leave the work incomplete. When you trust that your desired outcome exists, you naturally feel the emotions associated with it. Gratitude, joy, and relief are powerful indicators that you are aligned with your faith. These emotions are the language of the unseen, signaling to the universe that you are ready to receive what you have envisioned. There will be moments of testing, where the gap between your vision and your reality feels insurmountable. These are not signs of failure but opportunities to deepen your faith. Each challenge is a reminder to return to your belief, to stand firm in the knowing that what you seek is already yours. The unseen world is not swayed by doubt, it responds only to the consistency of your conviction. Your faith aligns reality because it operates on a principle as old as creation itself. What you believe to be true will become your truth. The power of faith is not in forcing outcomes, but in surrendering to the certainty that they are already in motion. To trust in the unseen is to participate in the very act of creation. It is to know that your belief shapes the invisible threads of reality, weaving them into the fabric of your experience. Faith, when unwavering, transforms the impossible into the inevitable. The life you desire is born in your mind. Every great accomplishment, every remarkable transformation, begins as a single thought, a vision held within the realm of imagination. This is not a coincidence, it is a fundamental truth about the nature of creation. Imagination is the seed from which all possibilities grow. It is the fertile ground where the unseen takes root, nurtured by your focus and belief, until it blooms into the tangible reality of your experience. To imagine the life you desire is to step into a creative process that defies the limits of logic and circumstance. It is in the mind, not the physical world, where the first spark of change occurs. When you close your eyes and visualize your ideal life, you are not simply daydreaming, you are planting seeds. You are constructing the blueprint for what will manifest in your outer world. This is a sacred act, a deliberate choice to engage with the infinite potential that resides within you. Seeing your desired outcome in your mind is the first step. Visualize it in vivid detail as if you are already living it. What does your life look like? What do you see around you? What colors, textures, and shapes fill your world? Your imagination has the ability to create scenes so real that they rival your waking reality. Use this power deliberately. Create images of success, abundance, love, or joy, whatever it is you desire. Let your imagination roam freely, unconstrained by the limitations of your current circumstances. But imagination is not merely about seeing, it is about feeling. To fully activate the creative potential of your mind, you must step into the emotional experience of your imagined life. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the exhilaration that comes with living your dream. These feelings are not just pleasant, they are essential. They act as the energy that brings your vision to life. Without feeling, imagination remains an inert concept. With feeling, it becomes a living force. Claiming your desire as yours now is the final transformative step. This means you no longer see your vision as something distant or unattainable. You embrace it as a present reality, as though it has already been realized. This shift in perspective is powerful. It sends a clear message to the universe that you are ready to receive. It aligns your thoughts, feelings, and actions with the reality you wish to create. When you claim your desire, you eliminate the gap between where you are and where you want to be. This process may feel unnatural at first. Your senses may try to convince you that your imagination is a lie, that what you see and feel in your mind has no basis in reality. But this is the great paradox: what exists in your mind is more real than what your senses report. The physical world is merely the reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. Your imagination, on the other hand, is the birthplace of what is yet to come. Trust in this truth, even when your external reality seems unchanged. It is important to nurture the seed of your imagination with persistence and care. Like any seed, it requires time to grow. Do not dig it up with doubt or impatience. Instead, revisit your vision daily. See it more clearly, feel it more deeply, and claim it more confidently with each passing day. Trust that the process is working, even if you cannot yet see the results. Your imagination is the starting point, but it is also the sustaining force that keeps your vision alive until it becomes reality. Challenges may arise, and distractions may attempt to pull you away from your vision. In these moments, return to your imagination. Let it be your sanctuary, your source of inspiration and strength. Remind yourself that your mind holds the power to shape your life, and that what you imagine with clarity and conviction must come to pass. Imagination is not a passive act. It is an active declaration of what you intend to create. It is the seed from which your future grows, the bridge between the unseen and the seen. By seeing, feeling, and claiming your desires now, you step into the role of creator. You align with the truth that your life is not something that happens to you, it is something you shape, beginning with the images and emotions you hold in your mind. From this seed, all things are possible. Do not wait for circumstances to confirm your miracle act as though it has already happened. This principle, simple yet profound, holds the power to transform your life. The key to manifesting your desires lies in embodying the reality of their fulfillment, not as a distant possibility but as a present truth. When you live the end, you align your entire being, your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the outcome you seek, making it inevitable. To live the end means to step into the version of yourself who already has what you desire. It requires you to leave behind the mindset of lack or longing and embrace the certainty of possession. This is not mere pretense or self-deception, it is an act of creation. By embodying the state of your fulfilled desire, you activate the forces of the unseen to bring it into your experience. The world responds to who you are being, not just what you are wanting. Living the end begins in your imagination. Close your eyes and see yourself as the person who has already received what you long for. If it is wealth you desire, picture yourself living in abundance. Feel the ease and confidence that comes with financial freedom. If it is love you seek, imagine yourself deeply connected with your ideal partner. Feel the joy, security, and affection in that relationship. Let these images fill your mind until they feel as real as the world around you. But visualization alone is not enough. To live the end, you must carry the state of fulfillment into your daily life. Walk, talk, and think as though your desire is already yours. If your miracle had already happened, how would you carry yourself? How would you speak? What choices would you make? Begin to adopt those behaviors now. This is not about pretending, it is about aligning your external actions with your internal vision. The challenge lies in resisting the temptation to look to your circumstances for validation. Your senses may tell you that nothing has changed, that your desired outcome is still out of reach. Yet this is precisely the moment to double down on your faith. The physical world is a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs, not a measure of what is to come. By acting as though your miracle has already occurred, you rewrite the script of your life. Living the end also transforms your emotional state. When you embody the feeling of your desire fulfilled, you replace anxiety, doubt, and frustration with peace, joy, and gratitude. These emotions are powerful signals to the universe, confirming your alignment with your desired reality. Gratitude, in particular, is a magnet for blessings. By giving thanks for your miracle as if it has already happened, you draw it closer to you. Some may argue that this approach feels unnatural or even delusional. But consider this: every breakthrough in history began with someone acting as though their vision was already real. Great inventors, artists, and leaders did not wait for evidence to support their dreams. They lived as though their success was inevitable. This is not wishful thinking, it is creative thinking. It is the willingness to see beyond the limitations of the present and claim the possibilities of the future. Living the end does not mean ignoring your current circumstances or shirking responsibilities. It means refusing to be defined by them. You acknowledge where you are, but you choose to operate from the reality of where you are going. This shift in perspective empowers you to take inspired action, moving confidently toward your goals with the assurance that they are already yours. Challenges are merely the echoes of your old thoughts. When you set out to create a new reality, these challenges may appear as obstacles, delays, or even outright contradictions to your desire. But understand this, they are not signs that your vision is unattainable, they are remnants of the beliefs and patterns you once held. To overcome them, you must persist. Persist in your vision, hold it steady in your mind, and remain unwavering in your faith until it materializes. Persistence is the anchor of creation. It is the ability to maintain focus on your desired outcome despite appearances to the contrary. When you encounter resistance, it is not a signal to give up, but an invitation to reaffirm your commitment. The external world is slow to catch up with the shifts you make internally. It is like a ship changing direction. It takes time for the new course to become evident. During this transitional phase, persistence becomes your most powerful ally. Doubt is the natural adversary of persistence. It creeps in when the evidence of your senses contradicts your vision. It whispers questions like, what if this doesn't work, or what if I'm wasting my time? But remember, doubt is a reflection of your old state of consciousness. It is the voice of the past attempting to pull you back into familiar patterns. To move forward, you must rise above it. Treat doubt not as an enemy to be feared, but as a shadow to be ignored. Focus instead on the light of your vision. Challenges often appear as tests of your resolve. When things seem to go wrong, or when progress feels stagnant, it is easy to succumb to frustration or despair. Yet these moments are pivotal. They are opportunities to prove the strength of your belief. Can you continue to hold your vision in the face of opposition? Can you stay true to your desired state even when the outer world denies it? If you can, you will find that these challenges lose their power over you. To persist is to live in the reality of your vision, no matter what. It is to act, think, and feel as though your desired outcome is inevitable. This requires discipline and focus. You cannot allow fleeting circumstances to dictate your state of mind. Instead, you must govern your thoughts with intention, choosing to dwell on what you want rather than what you fear. This mental discipline is not easy, but it is essential. It is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. Persistence also involves repetition. Return to your vision daily, nurturing it like a seed planted in fertile soil. Visualize your desired outcome with clarity and emotion. Feel the joy, gratitude, and satisfaction of already having it. The more you do this, the more real your vision becomes to you, and the less influence external circumstances will have. Over time, this repeated focus reprograms your subconscious mind, aligning it with your new reality. You can understand that the outer world is malleable. It may seem solid and unchanging, but it is constantly reshaped by the energy and focus you bring to it. Persistence is the force that bends reality to match your vision. It is the unyielding determination to hold on to what you know is true within, regardless of what appears to be true without. This steadfastness sends a powerful signal to the universe, declaring your readiness to receive. Do not measure your progress by what you see. Measure it by how unwaveringly you can hold your vision. Trust that every challenge, delay, or setback is simply part of the process, not the end of the story. Even when things seem to fall apart, they are often falling into place in ways you cannot yet perceive. Persistence allows you to remain steady through these periods of uncertainty, knowing that the outcome is already yours. The key to persistence is faith in your vision, faith in the process, and faith in yourself. Cultivate this faith through gratitude, affirmations, and constant reminders of your inherent creative power. Surround yourself with supportive influences that uplift and inspire you. Let every small sign of progress, no matter how minor, fuel your confidence. Each step forward, no matter how incremental, is evidence that your vision is coming to life. Persistence is about embodying the truth of your desired reality until it becomes undeniable. It is the refusal to be swayed by temporary appearances or fleeting doubts. Challenges are merely the echoes of what once was, fading as your new reality takes form. By persisting in your vision, you affirm your role as the creator of your life, and you ensure that what you desire will come to pass. Hold steady and trust the process. Your persistence will prevail, and your vision will materialize. Emotions are the driving force behind creation, the fuel that propels your desires into reality. To bring your miracle closer, you must harness the power of gratitude and joy. Feel these emotions not as a response to what you already have, but as if your miracle has already arrived. In doing so, you align your inner state with the reality you wish to create, generating a momentum that hastens its manifestation. Gratitude is a magnetic force. It is the acknowledgement of abundance, the affirmation that you already possess all you need. When you feel gratitude as though your miracle is here, you shift your focus from lack to fulfillment. This shift is not merely psychological, it is energetic. Gratitude sends a signal to the universe that you are in harmony with your desired outcome. It creates a resonance between your inner state and the external reality you seek, drawing it closer to you like a magnet. To cultivate this feeling, begin by imagining your miracle vividly. See it in your mind's eye as though it is already yours. Picture every detail with clarity. If it is a new home, walk through its rooms in your imagination. If it is love, feel the warmth of connection. If it is financial freedom, experience the ease and security it brings. Then allow gratitude to rise within you. Give thanks not for what you hope to receive, but for what you already have in this imagined reality. Feel the gratitude so deeply that it becomes indistinguishable from reality itself. Joy is the natural companion of gratitude. While gratitude acknowledges the fulfillment of your desires, joy celebrates it. Joy is a high-frequency emotion, a signal of alignment with the life you want to live. By embodying joy, you accelerate the momentum of your creation. Think of joy as the spark that ignites the engine of your dreams, propelling them into your experience. The beauty of joy and gratitude is that they do not require external validation. They are states you can choose to embody at any moment, independent of your circumstances. This independence is key because waiting for your miracle to feel grateful or joyful places you in a state of lack. Instead, by feeling these emotions now, you bring your inner state into harmony with the end result, collapsing the gap between desire and fulfillment. The momentum created by emotions is not linear, it is exponential. Each moment spent in gratitude and joy amplifies your alignment with your desired reality. This is why consistent emotional practice is so powerful. Make it a daily ritual to immerse yourself in these feelings. Start your day with gratitude, listing everything you are thankful for as if your miracle has already come. Visualize your ideal reality and let joy fill your heart as you imagine living it. It is important to note that gratitude and joy are not just passive feelings, they are active forces. They inspire thoughts, actions, and decisions that align with your desired reality. When you feel deeply grateful and joyful, you naturally act from a place of abundance and confidence. You make choices that reflect the version of yourself who already has what you desire. These actions further reinforce the momentum, creating a cycle of positive energy that draws your miracle closer. Challenges may arise to test your emotional state, moments where doubt or frustration threaten to take hold. In these times, remember that emotions are a choice. You are not a passive observer of your feelings, but their creator. When negative emotions surface, acknowledge them without judgment and gently redirect your focus. Return to your vision, immerse yourself in the feeling of its fulfillment, and let gratitude and joy flow once more. Gratitude and joy are not just tools for manifestation, they are transformative states of being. As you practice them, you will notice changes not only in your external circumstances, but in yourself. You will become more resilient, more optimistic, and more connected to the infinite possibilities of life. This transformation is a miracle in its own right, a testament to the power of emotions to shape reality. Emotions are the bridge between the seen and the unseen, the inner and the outer. By feeling gratitude and joy as though your miracle is here, you create a momentum that carries you effortlessly toward its realization. You become a living expression of your desired reality, radiating the energy of fulfillment. And as you do, your miracle will come not as a distant possibility, but as an inevitable result of the energy you have embodied. There is a sacred rhythm to the universe, an unseen harmony orchestrated by a higher power that governs the unfolding of all things. Your miracle, too, is subject to this divine timing. It is not a question of if it will happen, but when. Trust that the higher power knows precisely when the moment is right, and when your miracle does arrive, it will be perfect in every way. Divine timing is not something we can manipulate or rush. It operates beyond the constraints of human understanding, aligning circumstances, people, and events in ways that often remain hidden until the moment of revelation. When you feel a deep longing for your miracle, it is natural to want it immediately. But understand that impatience stems from a lack of trust, a belief that you must control every detail to ensure the outcome. In truth, the higher power works in ways far more intricate and profound than we could ever comprehend. When you place your trust in divine timing, you release the burden of anxiety and control. You recognize that there is a wisdom greater than your own at work, one that sees the broader picture of your life. What may seem like a delay or an obstacle from your perspective is often a vital piece of the puzzle being arranged for your highest good. Every moment of waiting, every twist and turn serves a purpose in preparing you to receive your miracle in its fullness. Trusting divine timing does not mean passively waiting without action. It means aligning yourself with the flow of life, doing what you can with faith and surrendering the rest. Imagine planting a seed in the soil. You water it, give it sunlight, and tend to it, but you cannot force it to sprout. The seed will germinate and grow when the conditions are just right. Similarly, your role is to nurture your vision and prepare yourself to receive your miracle, trusting that it will bloom in its season. One of the greatest challenges in trusting divine timing is the urge to compare your journey with others. You may see someone else achieving what you desire and wonder why it has not yet happened for you. But comparison is a distraction, a denial of your unique path. The higher power does not operate on a schedule of fairness or competition, but on a schedule of perfection. Trust that what is meant for you will never miss you, and what is not meant for you will never stay. Patience is the hallmark of trust in divine timing. Patience is not passive waiting, but active faith, a confident knowing that what you seek is already on its way. It is the ability to remain at peace, even in the face of uncertainty, to find joy in the present moment while anticipating the fulfillment of your desires. Patience allows you to move through life with grace, unshaken by delays or setbacks. To cultivate trust in divine timing, deepen your connection with the higher power. Through prayer, meditation, or quiet reflection, seek reassurance that all is unfolding as it should. Listen for the subtle guidance that often comes in moments of stillness. Sometimes divine timing requires you to pause, to grow, or to release something that no longer serves you. These moments of preparation are not detours, but essential steps on the path to your miracle. Gratitude is another key to trusting divine timing. When you express gratitude for the journey, even before the destination is reached, you affirm your faith in the process. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance, reminding you of all the blessings already present in your life. It aligns you with the energy of receiving, opening the door for your miracle to arrive at the perfect moment. That divine timing is always precise. It does not adhere to human expectations or deadlines, but it is never late. When your miracle unfolds, you will see how every moment of waiting, every challenge, and every seeming delay was necessary to bring you to that point. You will understand that the higher power's timing is not just right, it is flawless. As you wait for your miracle, hold on to this truth: the universe is conspiring in your favor. Even when you cannot see it, forces are moving to align your life with your highest good. Trust the process, trust the journey, and most importantly, trust the higher power. Your miracle is on its way, and when it arrives, it will be more beautiful and perfect than you ever imagined. Trust in the unseen, act as though it is done, and hold steadfast to the belief that everything is unfolding in your favor. As you nurture this understanding, you will witness miracles not just as isolated events, but as a natural rhythm of your existence.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about power not in your fists or in your voice, but in your silence. The kind of power that doesn't shout or beg, but simply is. No contact isn't just a tactic, it's a declaration of your value. A silent reminder that you don't chase, you attract. And today I'm going to give you 5 undeniable signs that your silence is speaking volumes. When you stop making yourself available, you create a void. And let me tell you something about human nature. We don't notice the air we breathe until it's gone. Suddenly the messages come through. The questions start to flow. Are you okay? What's going on? They feel the shift. And now they're wondering why the silence feels so loud. The most powerful thing you can do is stand tall in your own solitude. When you stop reaching out, you find strength you didn't know you had. You begin to shine, and people notice that glow. That's the magic of self-respect. It's like a magnet pulling the right things toward you while repelling what no longer serves you. Here's the truth: your absence forces them to confront themselves. Maybe they start posting more. Maybe they suddenly act like they're doing better than ever. But deep down, they're trying to convince themselves they're not affected. Don't be fooled by the show. Your silence is making waves. No contact isn't just about them, it's about you. When you step away, you stop feeding the cycle of hurt and confusion. The pain starts to lose its grip on you. And in its place, peace. That's when you know you're winning, when your heart beats steady and your mind is clear. And then, one day it happens. The power shifts. They start chasing what they once took for granted. They realize what you knew all along: your presence was a privilege. And now, they're the ones wondering if they still have a chance. Silence isn't weakness, it's strength in its purest form. When you go no contact, you're telling the world, I am worth more than this. And the world, whether it's a person, an opportunity, or a blessing, responds accordingly. True transformation often begins in the most unlikely of places: silence. In a world consumed by constant chatter, distractions, and the incessant hum of notifications, silence can seem like an unfamiliar, even uncomfortable void. Yet, it is within that stillness that profound change takes root. Silence doesn't beg for attention, it doesn't demand acknowledgement. It simply exists, holding within it the power to shift perspectives, heal wounds, and reveal truths that were previously obscured by the noise. When the noise stops, the message begins. Imagine a still lake, untouched by ripples, reflecting the world around it with perfect clarity. This is what silence offers us: a chance to see things as they truly are, not as they appear in the chaos of daily life. It is within this reflective space that transformation occurs. When we are no longer consumed by the distractions of the external world, we are forced to turn inward, to face the thoughts and feelings we often bury beneath the surface. In silence, there is no escaping ourselves. We confront our fears, our doubts, and our desires, and through that confrontation, we begin to grow. Silence also teaches us patience. In the stillness, there is no rush, no urgency to fill the void with words or actions. This pause allows us to observe rather than react, to understand rather than judge. When we stop trying to force answers, they often come to us unbidden, like a whisper carried on the wind. True transformation doesn't happen in an instant, it unfolds gradually, like the blooming of a flower. Silence provides the fertile ground for this process, giving us the space we need to listen, not just to others, but to ourselves. Silence can feel intimidating. It strips away the distractions that shield us from our own thoughts and emotions. It is in the quiet moments that we hear the doubts we've been avoiding, the dreams we've neglected, and the truths we've been afraid to face. But this confrontation is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. For it is only when we face these truths that we can begin to transform them. Silence also has a way of amplifying the important things. When the noise ceases, we begin to notice the subtleties, the way our breath flows in and out, the rhythm of our heartbeat, the quiet hum of life all around us. This heightened awareness brings with it a sense of connection, a reminder that we are part of something larger than ourselves. It is in these moments of quiet reflection that we often find clarity, purpose, and direction. Silence can be equally transformative. Words are powerful, but they are not always necessary. Sometimes the greatest understanding comes not from what is said, but from what is left unsaid. In silence, we learn to truly listen, not just to the words of others, but to the emotions behind them. We discover the depth of connection that exists beyond language, a connection that is felt rather than spoken. In silence, we also reclaim our power. It is easy to lose ourselves in the noise of others' opinions, expectations, and judgments. But when we step back into the quiet, we rediscover our own voice. We remember that we are not defined by the chatter around us, but by the truth within us. Silence allows us to break free from the external pressures that often dictate our lives, giving us the freedom to live authentically and intentionally. Silence is not an absence, it is a presence, a powerful, transformative presence that invites us to slow down, to reflect, and to grow. It is a space where healing begins, where clarity emerges, and where the noise of the world fades away, leaving only what truly matters. So the next time you find yourself surrounded by noise, take a moment to step into the silence. Let it guide you, transform you, and remind you of the strength that lies within. For it is in the quiet moments, when the noise stops, that the most profound messages begin to speak. Time and space have an extraordinary ability to reshape our understanding of the world. When we step away from a situation, a relationship, or even our own thoughts, we create the opportunity to see things with a clarity that isn't accessible in the heat of the moment. Distance is not merely a separation, it is a powerful tool for reflection and growth. It allows us to strip away the emotions, assumptions, and biases that cloud our judgment, revealing the truth that often lies hidden beneath the surface. When we are too close to something, our perspective becomes limited. Think of it as standing inches away from a painting. At that proximity, the details blur, and we lose sight of the bigger picture. Every brushstroke seems chaotic, and it's impossible to appreciate the masterpiece as a whole. But when we take a few steps back, the colors blend harmoniously, the shapes come to life, and the purpose behind every stroke becomes clear. This is what distance offers us in life, the ability to step back and see the whole story, not just the fragmented pieces. Time works hand in hand with distance. In the moment, emotions often run high. Anger, sadness, or even excitement can cloud our ability to think rationally. But as time passes, those emotions begin to settle. What once felt overwhelming starts to fade, and we gain a more balanced perspective. It's like muddy water in a glass. If you keep stirring it, it remains murky. But if you let it sit, the sediment settles to the bottom, and the water becomes clear. Time allows our thoughts and feelings to settle, giving us the clarity we need to understand situations more fully. Distance also provides the space for self-reflection. When we remove ourselves from a situation, we are no longer consumed by the dynamics of the moment. Instead, we have the opportunity to examine our own role, our choices, and our reactions. This introspection is invaluable. It's in these moments of solitude that we often uncover truths about ourselves, truths that are difficult to see when we are entangled in the complexities of everyday life. We may realize that we were holding on to something out of fear, or that we were reacting from a place of insecurity rather than understanding. One of the greatest gifts of distance is its ability to reveal what truly matters. In the moment, it's easy to get caught up in trivialities or to assign importance to things that don't deserve it. But when we step away, we can more easily discern between what is essential and what is not. Distance has a way of highlighting what adds value to our lives and what drains it. It shows us where to invest our energy and where to let go. In particular, benefit from this perspective. Sometimes we hold on to people or situations out of habit, obligation, or fear of change, but when we create space, we can evaluate those relationships more objectively. We can ask ourselves whether they are truly serving us, whether they align with our values and goals, and whether they bring out the best in us. Distance often brings clarity, and with that clarity comes the courage to make choices that align with our highest good. Distance is not just about stepping away from others, it's also about stepping closer to ourselves. In the quiet moments that distance provides, we reconnect with who we are. We rediscover our values, our passions, and our dreams. We begin to see ourselves not as we think others perceive us, but as we truly are. This self-awareness is the foundation of personal growth and empowerment. Distance and time are not just about letting go, they are about gaining perspective. They are about creating a space where the noise fades and the truth becomes audible. When we allow ourselves this space, we can see things as they truly are, not as they appeared in the chaos of the moment. And in that clarity, we find the wisdom and strength to move forward with purpose and intention. Growth often requires a step away from the familiar, a deliberate separation from the constant noise of interaction and routine. It is in this space, away from the distractions and demands of everyday connections, that clarity emerges. The absence of constant engagement isn't a void to fear, it's a fertile ground where transformation begins to take root. When we are surrounded by constant interaction, whether with people, situations, or even our own thoughts, it can feel as though we are caught in a whirlwind. There's little time to pause, reflect, or assess. The continual exchanges of energy and emotions can blur our judgment, leaving us reactive rather than intentional. But when separation occurs, whether by choice or circumstance, it creates the stillness needed for perspective to take shape. In this stillness, the mind quiets and the heart begins to speak truths that were previously drowned out by the noise. Separation offers us the gift of introspection. When we are removed from the constant pull of relationships or responsibilities, we can finally turn inward. This isn't about isolation or loneliness, it's about connection with oneself. In the space of separation, we begin to recognize patterns in our behavior and thoughts. We see clearly the habits that serve us and the ones that hinder our progress. This self-awareness becomes the foundation for meaningful growth. True growth is rarely visible in the moment. It unfolds gradually, like a seed buried in the soil. At first, it seems as though nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, in the darkness and solitude, the seed is transforming. It is breaking open, stretching its roots, and preparing to reach for the light. Similarly, in the absence of constant interaction, we too undergo a transformation that isn't always immediately apparent. The silence and separation allow us to gather strength, focus, and clarity, setting the stage for profound change. Separation also challenges us to confront the aspects of ourselves that we might otherwise avoid. When we are constantly surrounded by others, it's easy to project our struggles outward, blaming circumstances or relationships for our frustrations. But in the space of separation, there's no one else to distract us from ourselves. This can be uncomfortable, but it is also incredibly powerful. It forces us to face our fears, insecurities, and doubts. And in doing so, we learn to overcome them. We discover resilience we didn't know we had and a deeper understanding of who we are. One of the most profound realizations that comes from separation is the recognition of what truly matters. Without the constant input of others' opinions or the pressures of external expectations, we can evaluate our priorities with greater clarity. We begin to see which relationships, goals, and values align with our authentic selves and which ones we've been holding on to out of habit or obligation. This clarity is a compass guiding us toward a life that is more intentional and fulfilling. In relationships, separation often provides the perspective needed to appreciate the connection fully. When we step away, we gain a better understanding of the dynamics at play. We see the strengths and weaknesses of the bond, and we have the opportunity to decide whether it nurtures our growth or holds us back. Sometimes separation leads to reconciliation and renewal, and other times it reveals the need to move on. Either way, it is an essential part of the process. Growth thrives in separation because it allows us to return to ourselves. It reminds us that we are whole, even when we are alone. It teaches us that our worth is not dependent on constant interaction or external validation. In the absence of others, we learn to nurture our own needs, pursue our own dreams, and build our own strength. Separation is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of a new chapter. It's the space where clarity is born, where intentions are sharpened, and where growth becomes undeniable. In this space, we are not running away from life, we are preparing ourselves to engage with it more fully, more authentically, and with greater purpose. It is here, in the quiet and solitude, that we become the person we are meant to be. Actions often speak louder than words. And when your absence begins to leave its mark, the actions of others can reveal a profound truth: they miss you. It's in this space of separation, where your presence is no longer taken for granted, that regret often starts to take root. People begin to reflect on what they had, what they lost, and most importantly, the role you played in their lives. This shift is not immediate, but when it comes, it is unmistakable. In the day-to-day routine of life, it's easy for people to overlook what they have. Familiarity can dull appreciation, and the comfort of knowing someone will always be there can lead to complacency. But absence creates a void, and in that void, clarity emerges. The things once taken for granted become glaringly obvious in their absence. Your kindness, support, and presence, which were once background noise in the chaos of life, suddenly become front and center in their thoughts. Regret is not just a feeling, it's a catalyst for change. When someone begins to feel the weight of your absence, their behavior often shifts in ways that reveal their inner turmoil. They might start reaching out more frequently, trying to bridge the gap that has grown between you. These attempts to reconnect are often subtle at first: a casual message, an unexpected call, or an effort to be present in spaces where they know you might be. These actions, though seemingly small, are laden with meaning. They reflect an acknowledgement of your value and a desire to restore what was lost. Sometimes regret manifests in more profound ways. People might begin to change their behavior, striving to show that they've learned from past mistakes. They may take steps to address the issues that led to the separation, whether it's working on their communication skills, showing more gratitude, or making an effort to prioritize the relationship. These actions are often driven by an understanding that your absence has taught them something invaluable: your worth cannot be replaced, and losing you was not something they want to risk again. It's important to recognize that these actions are not always immediate. Regret often takes time to surface. Initially, people might deny the impact of your absence, convincing themselves that life goes on as usual. But over time, the reality sets in. They begin to notice the quiet spaces where your laughter once filled the room, the unanswered questions that only you could answer, and the comfort that only your presence could provide. This growing awareness can be a humbling experience, one that forces them to confront their own shortcomings and the ways they may have failed to appreciate you. Your absence also holds a mirror to their lives, forcing them to examine their priorities and values. They may start to question why they allowed the relationship to falter and whether they were truly present and engaged when they had the chance. These reflections can be painful, but they are also necessary for growth. Regret, in this context, becomes a teacher, guiding them toward greater self-awareness and a deeper understanding of what truly matters. While it's natural to feel a sense of validation when someone's actions begin to reflect regret, it's important to approach these moments with clarity and discernment. Regret alone is not enough to rebuild a relationship or heal old wounds. Actions must be consistent, sincere, and aligned with genuine growth. It's not about accepting someone back into your life simply because they realize they've made a mistake. It's about evaluating whether their actions demonstrate a commitment to change and a renewed respect for what you bring to their life. Your worth is not determined by someone else's realization of it. The absence that highlights your value to others is a testament to the unique and irreplaceable qualities you bring to the table. Whether their regret leads to reconciliation or simply serves as a lesson for them, it is ultimately a reflection of your impact. Your presence left a mark, and your absence underscores its significance. When someone's actions begin to reflect regret, it serves as a reminder of the power of your presence and the strength of your absence. It's a testament to your value, a validation of the unique role you played, and a sign that your worth is undeniable even when you're not there to remind them. Whether you choose to let them back into your life or continue on your path, their regret becomes a moment of clarity for both them and you. It's in these moments that the true weight of your absence and the depth of your worth is fully realized. Inner peace is a force unlike any other. It doesn't shout or demand attention, yet it commands respect and admiration. When you cultivate a sense of calm and self-assurance within yourself, it changes everything, not just how you see the world, but how the world responds to you. Strength, rooted in peace, becomes a magnetic energy that draws people and opportunities to your door without effort or pursuit. This magnetism starts with the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and being at ease with yourself. It is not about arrogance or superiority, it is about a deep connection to your inner truth. When you are at peace with yourself, you stop seeking external validation. You no longer feel the need to prove your worth to others or chase after recognition. Instead, you radiate a quiet strength that others can sense, even from a distance. Inner peace creates a natural allure because it is so rare in a world full of chaos and noise. Many people are consumed by their own insecurities, fears, and desires. They are constantly chasing something, whether it's approval, success, or love, and this restless energy can be exhausting to those around them. But when someone encounters a person who is grounded, composed, and secure in themselves, it is like finding an oasis in a desert. People are drawn to that serenity because it offers them a glimpse of what they too crave, a sense of wholeness and calm. This magnetism doesn't just attract people, it also opens doors to opportunities. When you are at peace with yourself, you make decisions from a place of clarity rather than desperation. You are not swayed by fear or the need to please others. Instead, you trust your intuition and follow the path that feels right for you. This alignment with your inner truth creates a ripple effect. The right opportunities seem to find you because your energy resonates with what you truly desire. You no longer have to chase success, it begins to flow to you naturally. Your interactions with others also change when you are centered in peace. People can sense when someone is genuinely present and not caught up in their own anxieties or agendas. This presence makes you a safe and comforting person to be around. Others feel heard and valued in your company because you are not projecting your own fears or insecurities onto them. This creates deeper and more meaningful connections, further enhancing your influence and the respect you garner. Inner peace is also a form of quiet rebellion against the pressures of the world. Society often equates success with constant hustle, loud ambition, and relentless pursuit. But true strength lies in the ability to step back, breathe, and trust the process. When you embody this strength, you become a living example of an alternative way of being, one that prioritizes balance, authenticity, and fulfillment over superficial achievement. This authenticity is magnetic because it is real, and people are naturally drawn to what is genuine. The journey to inner peace is not always easy. It requires self-reflection, patience, and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. It involves facing your fears, forgiving yourself for past mistakes, and embracing your imperfections. But as you do this inner work, you begin to notice a shift. The things that once seemed so important, chasing approval, comparing yourself to others, or proving your worth, start to lose their grip on you. In their place comes a quiet assurance that you are enough, just as you are. This shift doesn't go unnoticed by the world around you. People begin to treat you differently, not because you demand it, but because your energy commands it. When you carry yourself with calm confidence, others naturally respond with respect and admiration. They are drawn to your strength, not because you seek their attention, but because you don't need it. This independence is incredibly attractive, and it inspires others to find that same sense of peace within themselves. Inner peace is not about withdrawing from the world, it is about engaging with it on your own terms. It gives you the freedom to say no to what doesn't align with your values and to embrace what truly fulfills you. It allows you to move through life with grace, even in the face of challenges. And as you do so, you become a beacon for others, a source of light and inspiration that they can't help but be drawn to. Inner peace is the foundation for a magnetic life. It empowers you to live authentically, connect deeply, and attract what is meant for you without effort or chase. It is not something you find outside yourself, it is something you cultivate within. And once you do, the world around you begins to reflect the strength and serenity that you carry in your heart. The urge to act impulsively is deeply ingrained in human nature. When something feels uncertain or unresolved, the instinct is to bridge the gap, to reach out, to seek answers, or to assert control. However, this reaction often stems from fear or insecurity rather than strength. Acting in haste rarely leads to the outcomes we desire. Instead, it often complicates matters, pushing what we want further away or creating unnecessary tension. Patience, on the other hand, offers a different path, one of restraint, clarity, and purpose. Patience is not passive, it is a form of active discipline. It requires strength to sit with discomfort, to resist the pull of immediate action, and to trust that everything will unfold in its time. This strength comes from an inner assurance that you don't need to force anything to happen. When you hold back from reaching out in moments of uncertainty, you send a powerful message not just to others but to yourself. You affirm that you are in control of your emotions and choices, that you are not governed by fleeting impulses, and that you value the bigger picture over immediate gratification. When you practice patience, you create space for perspective. Impulsive actions are often short-sighted, driven by temporary emotions that cloud your judgment. In contrast, patience allows you to step back, assess the situation with clarity, and respond from a place of wisdom. It gives you the time to understand what truly matters and what doesn't, and it helps you prioritize your long-term well-being over momentary relief. This shift in perspective often leads to better decisions, stronger relationships, and a deeper sense of fulfillment. Resisting the urge to reach out also shifts the dynamic in your relationships. When you act impulsively, you risk coming across as needy or dependent, which can create an imbalance. However, when you demonstrate patience and restraint, you show that you respect yourself and the boundaries of others. This self-respect is magnetic. It commands attention and earns respect in return. People are drawn to those who exude calm confidence, those who don't chase but instead allow things to come to them naturally. Patience also cultivates resilience. Each time you resist the urge to act impulsively, you strengthen your ability to endure discomfort and uncertainty. This resilience is a powerful asset in all areas of life, from personal relationships to professional endeavors. It equips you to handle challenges with grace, to navigate setbacks without losing your composure, and to remain focused on your goals even in the face of adversity. Over time, this resilience becomes a cornerstone of your strength, setting you apart as someone who can weather any storm with dignity and resolve. The power of patience lies not only in what it prevents but also in what it creates. By resisting impulsive actions, you create room for growth, understanding, and deeper connection. You allow others to come to their own realizations, to take responsibility for their actions, and to meet you halfway. You give situations the time they need to evolve naturally without interference or pressure. And in doing so, you often find that the outcomes are far more meaningful and enduring than anything you could have forced into being. Practicing patience also teaches you the value of timing. In life, timing is often everything. Acting too soon can disrupt the natural flow of events, while waiting for the right moment can lead to extraordinary results. Patience allows you to align with this flow, to trust that everything has its season, and to act when the time is right, not a moment sooner or later. This alignment with timing not only enhances your effectiveness, but also deepens your sense of peace and fulfillment. The power of patience lies in its quiet certainty. It is the confidence to know that you don't need to chase, force, or control, that everything meant for you will find its way to you in time. It is the discipline to hold your ground, to remain calm in the face of uncertainty, and to trust the process of life. When you embrace patience, you prove to yourself and to the world that true strength lies not in impulsive action but in the steady, unwavering resolve to wait for what is right. In the journey of silence, patience, and self-discovery, we uncover the profound power of stepping back to allow life to unfold on its own terms. Whether it's through the strength of silence, the clarity of perspective, the growth born in separation, or the magnetic energy of inner peace, each principle reinforces the truth that discipline and trust in oneself are the ultimate victories. Resisting the pull of impulsive action shows the world, and more importantly yourself, that you are grounded, resilient, and in control of your destiny. As you embody these truths, you create a life that is not only aligned with your highest self, but also a source of inspiration to others. Remember, everything meant for you will come in its time. Trust the process, honor your growth, and let your inner strength guide you forward. Thank you for listening, and may your path be filled with wisdom, clarity, and peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, not with your ears, but with the depths of your being. The truth is this: everyone who enters your life will one day leave. The hands you hold today may not always be there to hold yours tomorrow. But do not despair, for this is the way of life. It is not a curse, but a sacred design to awaken you to the infinite power within. The world teaches you to fear being alone. But I tell you, this solitude is not loneliness, it is the gateway to discovering who you truly are. When others walk away, they do not take your strength with them. They leave behind an empty space, a space you must fill with your own light. Stop chasing those who no longer wish to stay. Understand that their departure is not your loss, but your liberation. It is life whispering to you, turn inward, for there is a treasure here that you have overlooked. The most powerful relationship you will ever have is the one you cultivate with yourself. When you rely on the external world to validate your worth, you are like a tree without roots, swayed by every wind. But when you root yourself in the infinite power of your mind, you become immovable. Begin now to see yourself as whole, even when others leave. Speak to yourself as though you are your greatest love, your most trusted ally. I am enough, you declare. And in that declaration, you will find all that you have ever sought in others. Solitude is not the absence of others, it is the presence of self. When you learn to survive alone, you awaken to a deeper truth: you were never truly alone. The infinite spirit within you is your constant companion, your unfailing guide. So do not fear when people leave. Release them with gratitude, for they have fulfilled their role in your story. And as they go, turn your gaze inward. There, in the quiet depths of your being, you will find the strength to not just survive, but to flourish. Life is a river, ever flowing and ever changing. The people, places, and moments that come into our lives are like ripples on the surface of that river, beautiful, fleeting, and impossible to hold. Yet we often find ourselves clinging to these ripples, desperate to freeze them in time, longing for them to remain exactly as they are. This attachment to permanence, to the illusion that things will stay the same, is the root of much of our suffering. Consider the relationships we cherish. When we love someone, we often wish for that connection to remain untouched by the tides of change. We imagine that love will always feel as it does in its most tender moments, that the bond will never fray, and that the person we care for will never leave. But people are not static beings. They grow, evolve, and sometimes drift away. To resist this truth is to resist the very nature of life. The same applies to our circumstances. When we achieve success, we want to hold on to it forever. When we experience joy, we want it to linger. But success can fade, and joy is as impermanent as the clouds in the sky. Seasons change, opportunities come and go, and even the brightest days eventually give way to night. This is not a flaw in the design of life, it is its essence. By clinging to what is transient, we set ourselves up for heartache. We grasp at relationships, possessions, and experiences, trying to keep them from slipping through our fingers. Yet the tighter we hold on, the more we feel the sting of loss when they inevitably change or fade away. Life does not offer guarantees, and nothing in this world is meant to remain exactly as it is. But herein lies an extraordinary truth. When we embrace the impermanence of life, we free ourselves from the chains of suffering. To see life as it truly is, a series of moments, each unique and irreplaceable, is to understand its profound beauty. Instead of clinging to what was or worrying about what might be, we can learn to live fully in the present, appreciating each moment for the gift that it is. Growth often comes from the very impermanence we resist. When a relationship ends, it may hurt deeply, but it also creates space for new connections, new lessons, and a deeper understanding of ourselves. When we lose something we value, it forces us to reassess what truly matters and to find strength we didn't know we had. Loss is not the end, it is a doorway to transformation. The world around us mirrors this truth. The seasons shift, flowers bloom and wither, the sun rises and sets. Nature does not mourn these changes, it embraces them as part of a greater cycle. In the same way, we are meant to flow with life, not against it. To cling to permanence is to deny ourselves the richness of life's ebb and flow. This does not mean we should become indifferent or detached. Loving deeply and cherishing what we have are integral parts of the human experience. But true love, whether for a person, a moment, or a dream, does not demand permanence. It understands that the beauty of something lies in its impermanence. A sunset is breathtaking precisely because it does not last forever. A flower's fragility is what makes it precious. Learning to let go is not about giving up, it is about trusting the process of life. It is about understanding that when one door closes, another opens. It is about realizing that we are never truly losing, we are simply transitioning from one chapter to the next. When we embrace the impermanence of life, we become more resilient. We stop fearing change and start welcoming it as an opportunity for growth. We no longer see endings as failures, but as natural progressions. We begin to find joy not in holding on, but in experiencing life fully, moment by moment. Letting go of the illusion of permanence is not easy. It requires courage to face uncertainty and faith to believe that what lies ahead will serve our highest good. But as we release our grip on what was and surrender to what is, we discover a profound sense of peace. We learn to trust that life, in all its impermanence, is guiding us exactly where we need to be. So let the river of life flow freely. Cherish the ripples as they come, but do not mourn their passing. Each moment, fleeting as it may be, holds its own unique beauty. By embracing the impermanence of life, we unlock the door to true freedom, growth, and a deeper appreciation for the ever-changing dance of existence. Within each of us lies a realm untouched by the chaos of the outside world, a sanctuary that holds the essence of who we truly are. This inner reality is the seat of our strength, the wellspring from which all that we desire and all that we are flows. Yet so often we seek validation, fulfillment, and peace from external sources, believing that our happiness depends on circumstances, people, or possessions. In doing so, we overlook the boundless power within us, the power to shape our lives, transform our experiences, and anchor ourselves in unwavering peace. Your imagination is not just a tool for idle daydreaming, it is the architect of your reality. Every thought, every vision you hold within your mind carries the potential to manifest in the world around you. When you learn to dwell in the sanctuary of your imagination, crafting thoughts and images that align with your deepest desires, you awaken a creative force that can move mountains. What you consistently imagine with conviction becomes the blueprint for your life. The outer world is but a reflection of the inner, therefore, by mastering your inner reality, you gain mastery over your external circumstances. Yet this power is often underestimated or misunderstood. Many believe that change must come from exerting control over the physical world, from pushing, striving, and battling against perceived obstacles. But the truth is far simpler and infinitely more profound. The world you experience is a mirror of your inner state. If you carry turmoil within, it will manifest as chaos around you. If you nurture peace and abundance within, your external reality will echo that harmony. Building a life rooted in inner peace begins with recognizing that you are not a victim of circumstance, but the creator of your experience. This realization is liberating. No longer do you need to wait for the world to grant you permission to be happy, successful, or fulfilled. You hold that power within you at every moment. The key is to turn inward, to cultivate a relationship with your inner self, and to consciously choose thoughts and feelings that uplift and empower you. Inner peace is not the absence of challenges, but the ability to remain centered and unshaken amidst them. It is the calm in the storm, the unwavering light that guides you through the darkest times. To access this peace, you must learn to quiet the noise of the external world and listen to the still, small voice within. Meditation, reflection, and deliberate imagination are powerful practices that help you connect with this inner sanctuary. As you spend more time in this sacred space, you will find that the opinions of others, the fluctuations of fortune, and the uncertainties of life lose their grip on you. Your inner reality is also a place of limitless potential. In this realm, there are no boundaries, no restrictions, and no limitations. You can envision yourself as the person you wish to become, living the life you dream of. And as you hold that vision with faith and persistence, it begins to take form in the physical world. This is not wishful thinking, it is the natural law of creation. Just as a seed, when nurtured, grows into a tree, so too does a thought, when sustained, grow into reality. But to harness the power of your inner reality, you must be vigilant about the thoughts you entertain. Doubt, fear, and negativity can creep in, distorting the visions you hold and undermining your creative power. To guard against this, make a habit of focusing on what you desire rather than what you fear. Replace limiting beliefs with empowering ones, and trust in your ability to create the life you envision. It is also vital to approach this process with patience and trust. Just as a farmer does not dig up the seeds to check their growth, you must not doubt the seeds of thought you plant in your imagination. Trust that the unseen forces of life are working on your behalf, aligning circumstances, opportunities, and people to bring your vision to fruition. The more you dwell in the sanctuary of your inner reality, the less you will depend on the world around you to dictate your sense of self-worth and happiness. You will become unshakable, rooted in the knowledge that everything you need is already within you. This is true freedom, the ability to navigate life with confidence, knowing that you are the master of your destiny, the creator of your experience. As you cultivate this inner strength, you will find that your outer world begins to shift in ways that seem almost magical. Opportunities will arise, challenges will dissolve, and relationships will flourish. This is the power of inner reality. It transforms not only your perception but also your experience of life. And in this transformation, you will discover a profound truth: the peace, joy, and fulfillment you have sought were never outside of you, they were within you all along. True freedom begins when you realize that everything you need to feel whole, content, and fulfilled already resides within you. Yet so much of life is spent seeking validation, security, and happiness from external sources, whether through relationships, possessions, or social approval. This dependence, while often comforting in the moment, slowly erodes your spirit. It creates a cycle of reliance where your sense of well-being hinges on factors beyond your control. But when you cultivate self-sufficiency, you reclaim your power. You discover that liberation is not found in others, but in your ability to stand firm within yourself. Dependence on others, while natural to a degree, becomes detrimental when it dictates your happiness or self-worth. When you rely on external forces to provide fulfillment, you surrender your autonomy and tether yourself to the ever-changing tides of life. People may leave, circumstances may shift, and possessions may fade, leaving you vulnerable and unanchored. To build a life rooted in self-sufficiency is to anchor yourself in something unshakable, your own inner strength and resilience. Self-sufficiency does not mean isolation or rejecting help from others. It is not about closing yourself off from meaningful connections or refusing the beauty of shared experiences. Rather, it is about ensuring that your foundation is strong enough to withstand any storm. It is the ability to find joy in solitude, to pursue your goals without waiting for approval, and to trust in your capacity to navigate life's challenges on your own terms. The journey towards self-sufficiency begins with self-awareness. You must first recognize the areas where you have outsourced your power. Perhaps you seek constant reassurance from others, feeling uneasy when left alone. Maybe you derive your self-worth from external achievements, needing accolades or recognition to feel valuable. Or you might rely on material possessions to create a sense of security. Identifying these dependencies is the first step to breaking free from them. Once you've recognized your patterns, the next step is to shift your focus inward. Instead of looking to others to fill emotional voids, turn to yourself. Ask yourself what truly makes you happy, not what you've been told should make you happy. Spend time exploring your passions, cultivating your skills, and nurturing your inner world. As you invest in yourself, you'll find that the need for external validation diminishes. You become your own source of fulfillment. Building self-sufficiency also requires embracing solitude. Many people fear being alone, associating it with loneliness or a lack of connection. But solitude is not something to fear, it is a sacred space where you can reconnect with yourself. In solitude, you gain clarity about who you are and what you want. You learn to enjoy your own company and to draw strength from within. When you are comfortable being alone, you become less dependent on the presence of others to feel complete. Another key aspect of self-sufficiency is cultivating emotional resilience. Life is unpredictable and challenges are inevitable. But when you depend solely on others to help you navigate difficulties, you weaken your ability to cope on your own. Emotional resilience is the ability to face adversity with grace, to adapt to change, and to find strength in the midst of uncertainty. It comes from trusting your capacity to overcome obstacles, no matter how daunting they may seem. Financial independence is another important component of self-sufficiency. When you rely on others for financial support, you limit your freedom to make choices and live on your own terms. By taking control of your financial well-being, you create opportunities for yourself and gain the confidence that comes with knowing you can stand on your own 2 feet. This doesn't mean you have to achieve wealth overnight. It means taking intentional steps toward managing your resources wisely and building a life that aligns with your values. At its core, self-sufficiency is about empowerment. It is about recognizing that you are enough, that you have within you everything you need to create a life of meaning and purpose. It is about freeing yourself from the chains of dependency and reclaiming your autonomy. This liberation is not only a gift to yourself but also to others. When you are self-sufficient, you can engage in relationships from a place of wholeness rather than neediness. You can give without expecting in return and love without fear of loss, because you are not dependent on others to complete you. The path to self-sufficiency is not always easy, but it is deeply rewarding. It requires courage to face your fears, determination to build your strengths, and faith in your ability to create a fulfilling life. But as you take each step, you will feel a profound sense of freedom. You will no longer be bound by the actions or opinions of others. You will no longer fear being alone, because you will know that you are never truly alone. You have yourself. And that is enough. In this state of liberation, you will discover a truth that transforms your life. Fulfillment is not something you find outside of yourself. It is something you create within. By cultivating self-sufficiency, you unlock the power to live with purpose, peace, and unshakable confidence. And that, above all else, is true freedom. Rejection often feels like a sharp and painful blow to the heart. It stirs feelings of inadequacy, loneliness, and sometimes even despair. But what if rejection is not an end but a profound redirection? What if it is life's way of guiding you toward a higher purpose, one that you could not have reached if the door you were clinging to had not closed? To see rejection as redirection is to shift your perspective, recognizing that what feels like loss is often the seed of transformation. When people leave your life, it can feel like a betrayal or a failure. We naturally form attachments, seeking comfort and stability in relationships. However, not all connections are meant to last forever. Some people enter your life for a season, playing a role in your growth before their part in your story concludes. Their departure, while painful, creates space for new opportunities, lessons, and relationships that align more closely with your journey. Life operates in ways that often defy immediate understanding. In the moment, it is hard to see the larger picture or the reasons behind certain events. But with time and reflection, patterns emerge, revealing how rejection or loss was a necessary part of your evolution. Perhaps a breakup led you to discover your own strength and independence. Maybe being passed over for a job opened the door to an opportunity that was far more fulfilling. What appears as rejection is often a nudge, or sometimes a shove in a direction that better serves your growth and potential. Rejection also teaches resilience. Each time you face the pain of being turned away or let go, you have the choice to rise stronger. It is an opportunity to reaffirm your self-worth independent of others' opinions or decisions. Instead of seeing rejection as a reflection of your inadequacy, view it as a sign that something better awaits you. The process of overcoming rejection builds character, teaching you patience, perseverance, and trust in the unfolding of life. The transformation often begins in the shadow of loss. When familiar structures or relationships crumble, you are forced to confront yourself in a way that comfort and stability never demanded. You are invited to explore who you are without the roles, titles, or connections that once defined you. This exploration can be uncomfortable, even frightening, but it is also liberating. It is in these moments of uncertainty that you discover new facets of yourself, strengths, passions, and dreams that were hidden beneath the surface. The pain of rejection also encourages introspection. It prompts you to ask meaningful questions. Was this person, job, or situation truly aligned with who I am and what I want? What can I learn from this experience? How can I grow and move forward? These questions lead to deeper self-awareness, helping you make choices that are more authentic and intentional. In this way, rejection becomes a teacher, guiding you to greater clarity about your values and goals. Rejection often protects you from paths that are not meant for you. It may close doors to relationships or opportunities that, had they continued, might have caused more harm than good. While it's difficult to accept this truth in the moment, hindsight often reveals how rejection saved you from settling for less than you deserve. Trusting this process requires faith in life's wisdom and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. When you embrace rejection as redirection, you also learn to let go of resistance. Clinging to people or situations that are trying to leave your life only prolongs your pain. Instead, release them with gratitude for the role they played in your journey. This act of letting go is not a sign of weakness but of courage and wisdom. It shows that you trust life to guide you towards something greater. The transformation that follows rejection is not immediate. It requires patience and an open heart. There will be moments of doubt, sadness, and longing, but these emotions are part of the healing process. As you move through them, you begin to notice the gifts hidden within the experience. You may find new opportunities, meet people who inspire and uplift you, or uncover a deeper sense of purpose. Each step forward reinforces the truth that rejection is not the end, it is a beginning. Rejection, then, is a catalyst for growth and self-discovery. It forces you to step out of your comfort zone, confront your fears, and embrace change. It challenges you to redefine what success, love, and fulfillment mean to you. And most importantly, it redirects you toward paths that are in alignment with your highest potential. When you look back on moments of rejection, you may realize that they were some of the most pivotal points in your life. They pushed you to grow, to evolve, and to become more fully yourself. What initially felt like loss transformed into gain, and what seemed like an ending became a new beginning. In embracing rejection as redirection, you cultivate a profound trust in life's process. You learn to see challenges as opportunities, losses as lessons, and endings as doorways to new beginnings. This perspective empowers you to move forward with courage and hope, knowing that even in the face of rejection, life is always working for your highest good. In a world that is constantly moving, filled with noise, distractions, and the demands of daily life, solitude can often be misunderstood. Many view solitude as a form of punishment, a state to be avoided at all costs. The idea of being alone can bring discomfort, fear, or even anxiety. We've been conditioned to believe that being surrounded by people, engaging in constant activity, or staying busy is a measure of success or happiness. Yet the truth is, solitude is not a punishment, it is a sacred gift, a space where you can reconnect with your true essence, find clarity, and rediscover the peace and strength that lies within. When you embrace solitude, you step away from the external chaos that often clouds your mind and your emotions. In silence, you can hear your own thoughts, your own heart. Without the interference of others' opinions or the noise of the world, you can tune in to what is truly important to you. Solitude provides a rare opportunity for introspection. It allows you to sift through your emotions, your desires, and your dreams. Without the pressure to conform to societal expectations or please others, you are free to be yourself, to truly understand who you are, what you want, and where you're going. You can shed the roles you play for others, the friend, the colleague, the partner, the parent, and return to your most authentic self. It's in these quiet moments that you can strip away the layers of external influence that often mask your true nature. You begin to rediscover the dreams, passions, and values that may have been overshadowed by the demands of everyday life. Solitude allows you to connect with your inner wisdom, the part of you that knows what is best for your journey, your growth, and your happiness. Solitude is also a powerful tool for healing. In a world that encourages constant activity and distraction, it can be easy to ignore emotional wounds or unresolved issues. But in the stillness of solitude, you can face these challenges without the pressure of external distractions. It's a space where you can reflect, process, and release the emotional baggage that you may have been carrying. Solitude gives you the space to let go of the past, to forgive yourself and others, and to make peace with your experiences. It provides the necessary time to heal, rebuild, and restore your energy and emotional well-being. The fear of being alone often stems from a deep-rooted belief that solitude equals loneliness. However, loneliness is not the same as solitude. Loneliness arises when we feel disconnected from others and from ourselves, while solitude is the conscious choice to be alone in order to reconnect with our inner self. Loneliness is the absence of connection, but solitude is the presence of self-awareness. When you learn to be at peace with your own company, you stop fearing solitude. Instead of seeking external validation or the presence of others to feel complete, you find wholeness within. In this way, solitude becomes a source of strength rather than something to fear. You also learn to trust yourself. The constant noise and distractions of daily life can often drown out your own voice, leaving you unsure of your decisions and your direction. But when you are alone, you are forced to rely on your own judgment, to trust your own intuition, and to make decisions based on your true desires, rather than on the expectations or opinions of others. Solitude gives you the clarity and confidence to follow your own path, unapologetically and without hesitation. Many people fear that they will miss out on life if they spend time alone. They worry that solitude will cause them to become disconnected from the world, but the opposite is true. Solitude enhances your connection to the world by first deepening your connection to yourself. When you are centered and at peace within, you bring a higher level of awareness and presence to your interactions with others. You are no longer seeking fulfillment from external sources, but rather from your own wellspring of peace, love, and understanding. This inner peace radiates outward, enhancing your relationships and your ability to engage with the world in a meaningful way. Solitude offers the opportunity for growth and self-discovery. It is in these quiet moments that you can explore new ideas, develop new passions, and cultivate your creativity. When you are not constantly distracted by the demands of others or the noise of the world, you give your mind the space to innovate, reflect, and expand. It is in solitude that you can listen to the quiet whispers of your soul, the ones that often get drowned out by the chaos of daily life. These whispers guide you toward your higher purpose, your truest self. It also teaches you self-discipline and patience. In a world where instant gratification is the norm, The stillness of solitude requires a certain level of patience and acceptance. It teaches you to be comfortable with the ebb and flow of life, to trust that everything will unfold in its own time. In solitude, you cultivate the ability to be present with yourself, to sit with your thoughts, to allow your emotions to rise and fall without judgment, and to embrace the moments of stillness rather than seeking constant action. It is a sacred practice, a gift that allows you to reconnect with your true essence. It is a space where you can find clarity, healing, and strength. It is a time to rediscover your passions, to nurture your creativity, and to listen to the wisdom that resides within you. By embracing solitude, you come to realize that you are never truly alone, for you carry the entirety of your being within you, and that in itself is a source of limitless peace and power. Surviving alone is often thought of as a matter of physical endurance, how long you can last without help, how well you can provide for yourself, and how capable you are of managing your immediate needs. However, true survival, especially in moments of solitude, is far less about physical strength and much more about mental resilience. The mind is the most powerful tool you possess. It shapes your experiences, your perception of reality, and ultimately your ability to thrive. If you want to survive and flourish in solitude, you must first master your mind. In times of challenge, your mind can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. It can either empower you to overcome obstacles, or it can fill you with doubt, fear, and negativity. The difference between those who thrive and those who struggle often lies in their ability to control their thoughts and emotions. The key is to recognize that your thoughts create your reality. If you constantly focus on what you lack, on the things that are missing from your life, your mind will align with scarcity. But if you train your mind to focus on abundance, on the endless possibilities and resources available to you, you will open the door to growth and success. Abundance is not just about material wealth or external circumstances, it is a mindset. It is the belief that no matter what your external circumstances may be, you are always capable of creating more. When you focus on abundance, you are aligning your thoughts with the idea that there is more than enough for you to succeed and prosper. This mindset shifts your energy from fear and limitation to possibility and opportunity. You begin to see that everything you need is already within you, and the universe is constantly presenting you with ways to grow, evolve, and thrive. On the other hand, focusing on lack keeps you trapped in a cycle of scarcity. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that you don't have enough, whether that's money, love, support, or resources. This mindset clouds your vision and limits your potential. The more you dwell on what's missing, the more you attract experiences that reinforce that feeling of lack. You begin to believe that survival depends on external factors, on people or circumstances that are beyond your control. But the truth is that true survival is rooted in mental resilience, in your ability to focus your mind on what is possible rather than what is not. One of the first steps in mastering your mind is learning to control your thoughts. This means recognizing when negative or limiting thoughts arise and actively choosing to replace them with positive, empowering ones. It's easy to let your mind spiral into fear, worry, and self-doubt. But with practice, you can train your mind to let go of these destructive patterns and replace them with thoughts that support your growth. When you catch yourself thinking about what you don't have, pause and shift your focus to what you do have. Instead of thinking, "I don't have enough time," tell yourself, "I have all the time I need to accomplish my goals." This simple shift in perspective helps you to step into a mindset of abundance. A key aspect of mastering your mind is learning to manage your emotions. Emotions are powerful, and they can either fuel your growth or hinder it. When you allow your emotions to control you, you become a victim of circumstance, reacting to everything around you instead of proactively shaping your own experience. However, when you take control of your emotional responses, you begin to operate from a place of power. You can choose how to respond to any situation, whether it's one of joy, frustration, sadness, or fear. Instead of letting emotions dictate your actions, you can use them as signals to guide your decisions and refine your mindset. For example, if you feel fear, Use it as an opportunity to examine what you're afraid of and challenge that fear. If you feel frustration, take a step back and ask yourself what's within your control and what's not. By taking responsibility for your emotional state, you regain control of your mind and your life. Another powerful tool in mastering your mind is meditation. Meditation allows you to quiet the noise of the world and your own thoughts, creating space for clarity and peace. It teaches you to observe your thoughts without judgment and to create mental stillness. In this stillness, you can connect to your inner wisdom, your intuition, and your deepest desires. It's in these moments of quiet reflection that you gain the clarity to make decisions aligned with your true purpose. The more you practice meditation, the more you cultivate mental resilience. You learn to detach from the constant chatter of the mind and to focus on the present moment. In this space, you are free from the worries of the past and the fears of the future. You become fully engaged in the present, and from this place of centeredness, you can approach life with greater calm and confidence. A final aspect of mastering your mind is cultivating gratitude. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you begin to attract more of the things that bring you joy, abundance, and peace. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's present, reminding you that you already have everything you need to succeed. By incorporating a daily gratitude practice into your life, you retrain your mind to focus on the positive, which in turn helps you to maintain a mindset of abundance, no matter what challenges you face. Mastering your mind is a journey, not a destination. It takes consistent effort, practice, and patience. But when you make the decision to train your mind to focus on abundance and not lack, you unlock a powerful force within you. You realize that survival, thriving, and fulfillment are not dependent on external circumstances, but on your ability to control your thoughts, emotions, and actions. In this space of mental resilience, you become the creator of your own reality, capable of overcoming any obstacle and achieving any goal. In conclusion, mastering your mind is the key to thriving in solitude and surviving life's challenges. It is not physical strength, but the resilience of your thoughts and emotions that ultimately determines your success. By focusing on abundance instead of lack, training your mind to cultivate positive thoughts, managing your emotions with wisdom, and practicing gratitude, you create a foundation of inner strength that allows you to navigate life with confidence and peace. Remember, your mind is a powerful tool, and when you harness it, there is no limit to what you can achieve. Thank you for your attention and for allowing me the opportunity to share these thoughts with you. May you continue to grow, evolve, and master your mind, creating a life rooted in abundance, peace, and inner strength. My friends, we live in a world that thrives on the chase. From the moment we wake up, we are conditioned to pursue, to fight, and to run after the things we desire. But let me tell you a secret, a profound truth that holds the key to unlocking all that you dream of. Stop chasing, and it will come to you. Understand this: chasing is rooted in lack. When you chase something, you are telling the universe, I do not have this, and I need it to feel complete. This mindset creates a gap, a distance between you and your desire. The more you run, the further it seems to drift away. Why? Because your focus on not having is the very energy that keeps it out of reach. Let us shift our focus inward. The truth is, you already possess everything you desire. The life you long for, the love you seek, the wealth you crave, it exists within you, waiting for acknowledgement. When you align with the feeling of already having it, the outer world must reflect this inner state. This is not magic, it is law. So how do you stop chasing and begin attracting? Start by assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Close your eyes and dwell in the end. See yourself as already being the person you wish to be. Feel the joy, the peace, the satisfaction. Hold this state in your imagination and watch as the world conforms to mirror your belief. Detachment is your ally in this journey. To detach does not mean to stop caring, it means to release the desperation that keeps you bound. Trust that what you desire is on its way, moving toward you with divine precision. Just as the sun rises without your effort, so too will your manifestations unfold in perfect timing. And while you wait, do not be idle. Prepare yourself to receive. If you desire love, become the embodiment of love. If you long for abundance, live as though you already have it. When you act as if it is already yours, you create a powerful signal that draws your desire closer. Remember the power of stillness. In silence, the greatest transformations occur. Stop chasing and let the current of life carry you. The river does not force its flow, it moves effortlessly toward the sea. So too must you trust in the natural order of things. Stop running after what is already yours. Claim it with the quiet assurance of one who knows it is done. Your desire will find you not through effort, but through alignment. Stop chasing, my friends, and watch as the universe brings it to your doorstep. For what is meant for you cannot miss you, and what you truly believe to be yours is already here. The idea that you must believe you already have what you desire is a profound shift in perspective, one that challenges conventional thinking. Most people are conditioned to see life as a series of steps, where effort and struggle are the only means to achieve success. But the truth is far more empowering. Your state of mind is the key to shaping your reality. When you internalize this truth, life ceases to be a pursuit and becomes an effortless unfolding of your desires. Belief is not merely wishful thinking, it is a knowing, a certainty that transcends doubt. To believe you already have what you desire means to embody the feeling of that reality, as if it is already here. This requires a mental discipline to detach from what the physical world currently shows you. It is easy to look around and see lack, to feel the absence of what you want. But when you choose to focus inward and hold the vision of your fulfilled desire, you begin to reprogram your mind and consequently the reality that surrounds you. Your state of mind is the foundation of your experience. The external world is a reflection of your internal state. If you feel poor, unworthy, or unloved, the world will mirror these beliefs back to you. Conversely, when you feel abundant, confident, and cherished, life naturally aligns with these states. The change begins within you, not through force or effort, but through the deliberate cultivation of belief. This is the essence of assuming the wish fulfilled. You step into the version of yourself who already possesses what you seek. This process is not about pretending or ignoring reality, but about shifting your focus. Consider a seed planted in the ground. You do not see it growing immediately, but you believe it will sprout because you understand the natural process. Similarly, when you plant the seed of your desire in your mind and nurture it with belief, it begins to take root in unseen ways. The results may not be instant, but the growth is inevitable if your belief remains steadfast. To fully embrace this principle, you must learn to live in the end. Living in the end means you stop waiting for external confirmation of your desires. Instead, you generate the feelings and thoughts associated with having already received what you want. For example, if you desire financial abundance, do not focus on the struggle of not having enough. Instead, dwell in the feelings of security, freedom, and gratitude that wealth brings. When you make this shift, your thoughts, actions, and energy align with your desired state, drawing it closer to you. Attachment plays a crucial role in this process. When you truly believe something is yours, there is no need to cling to it or chase after it. Imagine ordering a meal at a restaurant. Once you place the order, you trust it will be prepared and brought to your table. You do not fret or worry about how it will happen. This same trust must be applied to your desires. Detach from the how and when and rest in the certainty that it is done. Challenges will arise, as the world around you may still reflect your old beliefs. In those moments, it is vital to hold firm to your new state of mind. Resist the temptation to react to circumstances that seem contrary to your desires. Instead, reaffirm your belief and return to the feeling of already having what you seek. Remember, the outer world is a lagging indicator. It takes time for your new mental state to materialize fully. The beauty of this practice is that it empowers you to become the creator of your reality. You are not at the mercy of circumstances, other people, or random events. You hold the reins of your life through the thoughts and beliefs you choose to entertain. By assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you align with the creative forces of the universe and open the door for your desires to manifest. Belief is the bridge between the seen and unseen, the physical and the spiritual. When you embody the state of having, you collapse the distance between where you are and where you wish to be. Trust in this principle, and you will see your world transform in ways that seem miraculous. For what you truly believe, you will inevitably receive. Energy follows focus. This is a simple yet profound truth that governs every aspect of our lives. Whatever we give our attention to, we magnify. When we chase something, pouring energy into wanting, needing, and yearning for it, we unintentionally create a barrier between ourselves and the very thing we desire. Why? Because the act of chasing acknowledges its absence. It says, I don't have this, and I need to fill the void, and so the more we chase, the more the object of our desire seems to elude us, perpetuating a cycle of frustration and lack. To break this cycle, we must shift our focus. Instead of dwelling on what we lack, we align ourselves with the feeling of already having it. This shift is not about pretending or fooling ourselves, but about recognizing the energetic power of focus. When you focus on what you already possess, or the feeling of having your desire fulfilled, you align with a state of abundance. This alignment is magnetic. It draws your desires to you effortlessly, without the need for force or pursuit. Imagine you are holding a butterfly in your hands. If you try to grip it tightly, it will struggle and may fly away. But if you hold it gently, allowing it the freedom to stay or leave, it will often choose to remain. This is the same principle at work with your desires. Chasing them creates resistance, while aligning with their energy allows them to come to you naturally. The feeling of already having what you desire is the key to this alignment. Think about a time when you truly felt at peace, when you were not chasing after anything but simply enjoying the present moment. In those moments, life seems to flow effortlessly. Opportunities arise and everything falls into place. This is because your energy is focused on contentment and gratitude, which naturally attract more of the same. By contrast, when your energy is consumed by longing and pursuit, you emit a frequency of lack, pushing your desires further away. This principle applies to all areas of life. If you are chasing love, you may find that it seems to slip through your fingers. This is because the energy of chasing is rooted in a belief that you are not enough as you are. Instead, when you embody the feeling of being loved and cherished, you naturally attract relationships that reflect that state. The same is true for wealth, success, or any other desire. When you act as though you already have it, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive. Alignment is not about sitting idly by and waiting for things to happen. It is an active process of tuning your thoughts, emotions, and actions to the frequency of your desires. This means cultivating gratitude for what you have, visualizing your desired outcome, and taking inspired actions that resonate with the state of having, not lacking. For instance, if you desire financial abundance, focus on the ways in which you already experience abundance, whether it's the food on your table, the roof over your head, or the support of loved ones. By appreciating these things, you amplify the energy of abundance, attracting more of it into your life. Detachment is also a crucial part of this process. When you are truly aligned with the feeling of having, you do not need to chase or cling to your desires. You trust that they are already on their way to you, just as you trust the sun to rise each morning. This trust allows you to let go of desperation and anxiety, creating a space for your desires to manifest. It is important to understand that the external world is a reflection of your internal state. If you focus on lack, you will see lack. If you focus on abundance, you will see abundance. This is not about denying reality, but about choosing which reality you wish to create. By aligning your energy with the feeling of already having what you desire, you shift your focus from what is missing to what is present, transforming your experience from one of chasing to one of receiving. This shift requires practice and patience. The mind is often conditioned to focus on problems and unmet needs. But with consistent effort, you can train yourself to redirect your focus toward fulfillment and abundance. Meditation, visualization, and affirmations are powerful tools for this purpose. By immersing yourself in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you rewire your mind and energy to align with your desires. What you seek is not outside of you, it is within. When you stop chasing and start aligning, you step into your true power as a creator of your reality. You realize that you do not need to run after your desires because they are already yours. Your focus becomes a beacon, drawing everything you need into your life with ease and grace. Detaching from lack is one of the most transformative steps you can take in manifesting the life you desire. Chasing, by its very nature, arises from a mindset rooted in scarcity. It sends a powerful message to yourself and the universe that you believe something is missing from your life. This belief creates a gap of space between where you are and where you want to be, and that gap becomes a barrier to achieving your desires. To truly attract what you seek, you must shift your focus from lack to abundance. This shift is not just about changing your thoughts, it's about changing the energy you radiate. When you chase after something, whether it's love, wealth, or success, you are affirming its absence. Your actions and thoughts are driven by the idea that you need to close the gap between you and your desire. However, this very act of chasing reinforces the separation. The harder you try to grasp it, the more elusive it becomes. Think of it like water in your hands. If you squeeze too tightly, it slips away. The key is to loosen your grip, to trust that what you desire is already on its way to you. Detachment from lack begins with recognizing the abundance that already exists in your life. This is not about settling or pretending that everything is perfect, it's about shifting your perspective. Take a moment to reflect on the things you already have that bring you joy, comfort, and peace. These might be small things, like the warmth of the sun on your skin, the laughter of a loved one, or the roof over your head. By focusing on these blessings, you cultivate a sense of gratitude, which is the foundation of abundance. Gratitude shifts your energy from wanting to having, and in doing so, you align yourself with the state of receiving. Abundance is a state of mind, not a measure of external possessions. It is the inner knowing that you are always supported, that life is unfolding in your favor, and that there is enough for everyone, including you. When you embrace this state, you stop chasing because you no longer feel the need to fill a void. Instead, you trust that everything you desire is already available to you in one form or another. This trust creates a magnetic energy that draws your desires to you effortlessly. The practice of detachment also requires letting go of the how and when of your manifestations. Often people chase their desires because they want to control every detail of how they will come to fruition. But this control is an illusion rooted in fear and doubt. True abundance flows when you release the need to micromanage the process. Imagine planting a seed in the soil. You do not dig it up every day to check if it's growing. Instead, you trust the natural process, knowing that with time, water, and sunlight, the seed will sprout. Your desires are no different. Plant them in the fertile soil of your mind, nurture them with belief, and trust the timing of their manifestation. Letting go of lack also means shifting your identity. Instead of identifying as someone who is seeking, identify as someone who has already received. This shift is not about pretending, but about embodying the feelings and thoughts of abundance. How would you act if you already had the love, wealth, or success you desire? How would you carry yourself? What choices would you make? Start living from that place now and watch how your external reality begins to mirror your internal state. One of the greatest challenges in detaching from lack is overcoming the pull of the external world. It is easy to focus on what appears to be missing when your senses are bombarded with evidence of scarcity. But remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. If you focus on lack, you will see lack. If you focus on abundance, you will see abundance. This is not about denying reality, but about choosing which reality to amplify. By consistently redirecting your attention to abundance, you rewrite the narrative of your life. Understand that detachment does not mean indifference. It does not mean you stop caring about your desires or give up on your dreams. Detachment is about releasing the desperate need for outcomes and trusting in the natural flow of life. It is about finding peace in the present moment while remaining open to the blessings that are on their way. When you detach from lack, you create space for miracles to occur. You become a vessel through which abundance flows freely, and what you once chased now flows to you effortlessly. Detach from lack, embrace abundance, and trust the process. When you do, you will find that life has a way of surprising you with gifts beyond your imagination. The key is not to chase but to align, not to force but to trust. And in that trust, everything you desire will come to you. The power of stillness is one of the most profound forces in the universe, yet it is often overlooked in our busy, chaotic lives. We live in a world that glorifies action, noise, and constant motion. Yet it is in the quiet moments of stillness that the seeds of manifestation truly take root. Stillness is not passivity, it is a deliberate state of being, a conscious alignment with the flow of life. When you embrace stillness, you create a fertile environment where your desires can unfold naturally, without force or struggle. Silence and trust are the cornerstones of this practice. Silence allows you to withdraw from the external distractions that pull your focus away from your inner world. It is in silence that you reconnect with your true self, the part of you that is infinite, boundless, and already complete. When you step into stillness, you tune out the noise of doubt and fear, and you begin to hear the quiet whisper of your intuition, which guides you toward your desires with ease and clarity. It just amplifies the power of stillness. It is the unwavering belief that the universe is working on your behalf even when you cannot see the evidence. Trust allows you to let go of the need to control every aspect of the manifestation process. When you trust, you stop resisting the natural flow of life, and you allow things to unfold in their perfect time and way. Trust is not about blind faith, it is about aligning with the deep knowing that everything is already working out for your highest good. You move away from the frantic energy of chasing and striving. Chasing creates resistance because it acknowledges lack. It says, I don't have this, and I must work hard to get it. Stillness, on the other hand, embodies a state of having. It says, I am already complete, and everything I desire is already mine. This shift in perspective is powerful because it aligns you with the energy of abundance. It is in this state of quiet confidence that manifestation flows effortlessly. Consider the natural world as an example. A tree does not strain or struggle to grow. It does not rush the process or doubt that it will bear fruit. It simply remains rooted, trusting the cycles of nature to bring rain, sunlight, and nourishment at the right time. This is the essence of stillness, being grounded in trust and allowing life to unfold as it is meant to. When you adopt this mindset, you stop trying to force outcomes, and you start allowing miracles to happen. Stillness also creates a space for clarity. When your mind is constantly busy, it becomes cluttered with conflicting thoughts and emotions. This mental noise can block your ability to receive the intuitive guidance that is necessary for manifestation. In stillness, the clutter dissolves and your mind becomes like a calm, clear lake. It is in this clarity that you can see the next step, feel the nudge of inspiration, or recognize the opportunities that align with your desires. Stillness does not mean doing nothing, it means acting from a place of centeredness and alignment rather than fear or desperation. Many people fear stillness because it requires them to confront themselves. In the silence, you may become aware of doubts, fears, or limiting beliefs that you have suppressed. But this awareness is a gift because it allows you to release what no longer serves you. Stillness is a healing space where transformation can occur. As you sit with yourself, you begin to recognize your inherent worth and power. You realize that you do not need to chase or prove anything because everything you need is already within you. Trusting stillness is a practice. It requires patience and persistence, especially in a world that encourages constant activity. Meditation is a powerful tool for cultivating stillness. By sitting in silence and focusing on your breath, you train your mind to let go of distractions and rest in the present moment. Visualization is another effective practice. In the stillness, imagine yourself already living your desired reality. Feel the emotions, see the details, and embody the state of having. This focused stillness sends a powerful signal to the universe, aligning you with your desires. The power of stillness is transformative because it aligns you with the flow of life rather than fighting against it. It is a state of surrender, not in the sense of giving up, but in the sense of allowing. When you trust the process, you stop clinging to timelines and outcomes. You let go of the how and the when, and you open yourself to possibilities greater than you could have imagined. Stillness is where faith and action meet. It is the fertile ground where your desires take root, grow, and bloom into reality. In embracing stillness, you tap into the infinite potential within you. You become a co-creator with the universe, not through force or effort, but through alignment and trust. Silence becomes your ally, and trust becomes your foundation. Together, they create an environment where your desires unfold naturally and effortlessly. The essence of manifestation lies in the principle of feeling it real, embodying the emotions and mental state of fulfillment now. This idea, simple yet profound, carries the power to reshape your reality. The physical world you experience is not separate from your inner state. It is a mirror reflecting your beliefs, emotions, and assumptions. To change the reflection, you must first change what is projected from within. Feeling it real is the practice of aligning your inner world with the outcome you desire, knowing that the outer world will inevitably conform to match. When you feel it real, you are not waiting for evidence to appear in your physical reality before embracing the emotions of fulfillment. Instead, you create those feelings within yourself as if your desire has already been realized. This is not pretending or wishful thinking. It is the deliberate cultivation of a state of being that aligns with the reality you want to experience. Your imagination becomes the tool through which you shift your inner state, and your feelings serve as the fuel that drives this transformation. The foundation of feeling it real is understanding that your emotions are creative forces. Every thought you think and every emotion you feel carries a vibration, and this vibration resonates with similar frequencies in the universe. When you embody the feeling of already having what you desire, you send out a powerful signal that draws that experience toward you. The universe responds to your state of being, not to your wishes or words. It is the feelings behind your thoughts that carry the creative power. To practice feeling it real, begin by identifying your desire. Be clear and specific about what you want to experience. Once you have a clear vision, close your eyes and imagine yourself already living that reality. Engage all your senses in this mental rehearsal. See the details, hear the sounds, smell the scents, and feel the textures. But most importantly, focus on the emotions you would feel if your desire were already fulfilled. Would you feel joy, gratitude, relief, or excitement? Allow those emotions to rise within you and let them saturate your entire being. As you hold this mental and emotional state, you may notice that your mind tries to pull you back into doubt or disbelief. It may remind you of your current circumstances or question the possibility of your desire coming true. This is natural, as your mind has been conditioned to focus on the external world. The key is not to resist these thoughts, but to gently redirect your focus back to the feeling of fulfillment. Repetition strengthens the connection between your inner state and your desired outcome. Feeling it real is not just about isolated moments of visualization. It is about embodying this state throughout your day. Ask yourself, how would I act if I already had what I wanted? What choices would I make? How would I carry myself? Begin to live as if your desire is already yours. This does not mean spending recklessly or pretending to be someone you are not. It means aligning your actions, thoughts, and energy with the version of you who has already achieved the goal. One of the most powerful aspects of feeling it real is the way it transforms your relationship with the present moment. Instead of seeing the present as a place of lack, you begin to see it as the fertile ground where your future is taking shape. You stop waiting for happiness, success, or love to arrive and start experiencing those feelings now. This shift not only accelerates the manifestation process, but also enriches your life in the present. Another key element of this practice is trust. When you embody the feeling of fulfillment, you must trust that the physical world will conform, even if there is no immediate evidence. Trust is what allows you to let go of doubts and remain rooted in your inner state. It is the bridge between your imagination and reality. By trusting the process, you release the need to control or force outcomes, allowing the universe to orchestrate the details in ways that often exceed your expectations. The beauty of feeling it real lies in its simplicity. It does not require complex rituals or external tools. It requires only your willingness to shift your focus inward and cultivate the emotions you wish to experience. This practice empowers you to become the creator of your reality, showing you that you are never a victim of circumstances, but always a participant in the unfolding of your life. Divine timing is the profound truth that the universe operates in perfect harmony, orchestrating events in ways far beyond human understanding. It is the realization that everything unfolds at the right time and in the right way, even when it does not align with your personal plans or expectations. To embrace divine timing is to step into a state of trust, surrendering your need to control the when and how of life's unfolding, while knowing that every moment is precisely as it should be. At its core, divine timing teaches patience and trust in the unseen forces working behind the scenes of your life. When you plant a seed, you do not dig it up daily to check if it is growing. You trust the natural processes to unfold. Similarly, when you set an intention or a desire, the universe begins to rearrange circumstances, opportunities, and people to bring that intention into reality. However, just as a seed requires time to germinate, sprout, and bloom, your manifestations require the same careful unfolding. The human perspective is often limited to immediate desires and tangible results. You may want something to happen now, believing it is the best possible moment, but the universe operates with infinite wisdom. It sees the bigger picture, considering factors and connections you cannot yet perceive. What may feel like a delay or a setback is often the universe aligning the perfect conditions for your highest good. Divine timing is not about denial, it is about delivering in alignment with the most favorable outcome. And trusting divine timing requires releasing the illusion of control. When you attempt to force things or rush outcomes, you create resistance and often invite unnecessary struggle. This resistance stems from the fear that things won't work out, that you'll miss an opportunity, or that your desires won't materialize. But the truth is that the universe has never missed a beat. Everything you need comes precisely when you are ready to receive it, not a moment earlier or later. Readiness is a key component of divine timing. Often, the very things you desire require you to grow into the person who can receive and sustain them. The time it takes for your desires to manifest is not a punishment or delay, but a period of preparation. During this time, you may be learning lessons, developing skills, or clearing limiting beliefs that would otherwise hinder your ability to fully embrace what you seek. The universe does not give you what you want, it gives you what you are prepared for. Surrendering to divine timing does not mean passivity or inaction. It means acting in alignment with your inner guidance while releasing the need for immediate results. It is about being present and engaged in the journey rather than fixating on the destination. Each step you take, no matter how small, contributes to the greater unfolding of your desires. When you trust divine timing, you approach each day with faith and confidence, knowing that everything is moving toward fulfillment in perfect order. Gratitude is a powerful practice that aligns you with divine timing. When you appreciate what you have and where you are, you shift your focus from lack to abundance. Gratitude signals to the universe that you trust its process and are open to receiving more. This state of appreciation creates a magnetic energy that attracts your desires while allowing you to enjoy the present moment fully. Gratitude transforms waiting into a sacred experience, where every moment becomes an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. Divine timing also teaches you the value of detachment. When you are overly attached to a specific outcome or timeline, you limit the universe's ability to bring you something even better. Detachment does not mean giving up on your desires, it means releasing your grip on how and when they will manifest. It is the freedom to let go and trust that the universe knows the perfect path to fulfillment. Often, when you release your attachment, you create space for miracles to occur. Looking back on your life, you can likely see examples of divine timing at work. Perhaps a delayed opportunity led to something even greater, or a chance encounter at the perfect moment changed your trajectory. These moments are not coincidences, they are the visible threads of the universe's intricate tapestry. When you recognize the synchronicities and patterns in your life, you deepen your trust in the divine order of things. The beauty of divine timing lies in its ability to deliver not just what you want, but what you need. It ensures that your desires come into your life at the exact moment when they can bring the most joy, fulfillment, and growth. It honors your journey, allowing you to evolve into the best version of yourself, while preparing you to receive your blessings with grace and gratitude. To trust divine timing is to release the weight of impatience and fear. It is to stand in the present moment with faith, knowing that the universe is always working in your favor. Each step, each pause, and each delay is part of a grander design, leading you toward a life of greater alignment and purpose. When you embrace divine timing, you align with the flow of life, allowing it to carry you effortlessly toward your dreams. In conclusion, life is a profound dance between desire and surrender, between intention and trust. The key to manifesting effortlessly lies in understanding that the universe operates in perfect harmony, always working for your highest good. When you stop chasing, align with your inner state, and trust in divine timing, you allow life to unfold with grace and ease. Each moment becomes an opportunity to grow, to feel deeply, and to prepare for the blessings that are already making their way to you. It is not the striving or the chasing that brings your desires into reality, but the stillness, the belief, and the alignment with abundance within you. The universe responds to your energy, and when you embody fulfillment now, you become a magnet for all that you seek. Trust the process, release the need to control, and know that what is meant for you will never miss you. Thank you for allowing these words to resonate with you today. May you walk forward with faith, peace, and the unwavering assurance that everything you desire is already on its way.